Welcome back. So, for our person of interest today, we've got a very special guest. He's charming, he's talented, he's Varun Sood. He's come a long way as well, a reality TV star, and further sort of diving into acting world as well. He has, and let's also not forget the recent project where he played the character, the unforgettable character that the internet is raving about, and Call Me Bay alongside Ananya Pandey. But there's more to him than just good looks and good looks and good looks and his chiseled physique. But Toya will tell you all about it.
So to discover exactly what was there in the What's More, we already know, if you follow him, he's a basketball enthusiast. He talks all about it. He's a recent new mama. And he's also just a passionate individual who wears his heart on his sleeve. So to bring some of that positivity onto the show, we thought we'd invite Varun on. Let's go over to him to ask him a little bit more. All right, good morning, Varun. Thank you for joining us here on the show. Varun, tell us, everyone talks about how fit you are. So we'd almost be, doing a disservice by now touching on the fact that sub tabloids yahi keh rahe hain ki aap bahut exercise karte ho. Are you tired of talking about fitness at all?
I feel like I've been training for the last almost like 10 years now, 10, 11 years. And it's something that's very in my lifestyle, and I don't think too much about it. But ever since I've become an actor and I've come to the industry, people like look at it as a very different thing. They're like, "Oh, you're so fit. What's your lifestyle like?" It's very normal for me. So yeah, in a way, I am kind of over it. I am kind of over the fact that people overcomplicate it or make it a big deal, because I don't think it's a big deal. I think it's a very necessary part of everybody's life. And yeah, that's about it.
Nice, but we heard you're into basketball as well, and the NBA is sitting in for India. Tell us all about that.
So I watch the NBA every morning. Every morning I have to get up at 4:30 to watch my games. And I still play professional basketball. Every time I'm not acting, every time I'm not on the screen, I am playing professional basketball. I recently played in Sri Lanka for a FIBA tournament, won that tournament. I played in a FIBA tournament in Abu Dhabi, stood fourth in that tournament. And this is like
Nice.
the world level, the best athletes in the world. So still very much connected to the game, still playing it.
Would you have wanted to be a professional basketballer if you had that choice?
I think I'm not that skilled enough to play at that level, or maybe I didn't see it as a career when I was growing up. I always saw it as a passion, and maybe that's why I didn't put in that extra effort that it needs to be put in to make it a career. But 100%, I would definitely want more infrastructure for basketball in India. Like in Mumbai, there's literally nothing. All the courts have been converted to paddleball courts. There are no kids playing anymore. And I feel with such a big population, we still don't have anybody in the NBA right now. And that needs to be talked about. And I wish that people look into it, and eventually, hopefully, the sport of basketball grows in India.
All right, paddle, pickle people, watch it. But Varun, we'll talk about your acting also just in bit. But since we are seeing these lovely pictures of you with Ranvijay, we have to ask about the starting of your journey. He's been a sort of a big brother to you, right? And you were on roadies as well. So take us back to the very beginning.
Yes, Roadies was like the beginning of everything. And I mean, very, very special show for me, because I think that was one show that made me realize that I really enjoy being in front of the camera. Not acting per se, but just like being in front of the camera. And Ranvijay Bhai was there with me all throughout. We've had similar lives, we've had similar backgrounds, and that's why he could understand where I'm coming from. Like he could understand the difficulties that I would face in the future, and that's why he was always there with me. Um, the bond grew to a point where he's literally family now, and I'm so glad that I had somebody in my life who could just guide me through everything, and not and just like be around and not let me face everything alone, because he did it when he was here, and when he had to make a decision of not joining the army and joining this industry. uh, he just didn't let me go through any difficulties alone, and I love that. uh, and yeah, I mean, he's taught me one thing that if you help people, then the universe in different ways will help you. And
Comes back. Yeah.
if eventually in the future I'm at a position of mentoring somebody 100%. Right now, I'm still not. Right now, I'm still the youngest brother in that group. But if in the future there's somebody who needs my help in this capacity, and I grow this close to that person 100%.
That's not entirely true, though, right? You do have someone to mentor. You just became a mama. Tell us a little bit about that experience.
So actually, I became a mama for the first time when I was, I was 22. I was 22. So we have a Didi in our house. Her name is Sapna Didi. She has been with us for the longest time, and she got married and she had a baby. And then I consider Samara my niece, my first niece. And then I was too young to understand what the word niece really means. And now that he is born, I realized that we have to be their friends. Like eventually in this generation, because they will have access to so many things around the world. Uh, to keep them away from a particular topic or particular thing will be very difficult. I think being their friends at a very young age will kind of solve the problem. Being soft to them, not making them scared of life, is something that I've learned over the years with Samara, and now eventually will implement that on Heath. So that's my point of view of being a mama to both my nieces. That I need to be their best friend.
Nice. So let's shift focus now from personal life to one on the screen. And the latest project, Call Me Bae, has got everybody raving. Your character Prince was both adored and kind of like Ross in some way. People were drawing parallels to it. But what is your hope for how this character builds up and how this character arc shapes up in the next season?
I think Prince was really loved by everybody. And when I was doing the show, I knew that the show will do very well and all the characters will do very well. I didn't probably see the fact that Prince will be one of the most loved characters because I was shocked by the reaction. I was absolutely blown away. I knew that the girl gang, the Behen code will work a lot. I knew like some aspects will work a lot because when you're doing the scene, when you're in the scene, you kind of figure it out. But Prince really worked. I just hope that they keep making more seasons and Prince is there. That's my hope for the character.
Varun, younger members in our team were really excited, not just to have you on, but also to ask you this next question. Have you been friend zoned before in your life, like your character is on the show?
Yeah, so many times in school. But in school, I never realized this that sometimes a person will not like you or will not fall in love with you because they'll not fall in love with you. And I have to always find a reason back in the day that why? Why is it not happening? And eventually, when I grew up, I just figured out that maybe they don't feel like what you feel for them, and which is completely normal. And like back in the day, I never dealt with it very well. I used to always like cry and like blame myself for certain things. But now I think I've reached a point where I'm like, yeah, some people don't probably feel the same way as you feel for them, and it's completely normal. I mean, it still hurts, but the way of dealing with it is a lot better.
All right. Varun, one has to ask you, you've shot to fame quite recently as well. People are talking about you. It's your moment. But the projection that media sometimes might have towards you, is that a concern? Is it all about good looks sometimes? Is it trivial? Do you find it frivolous even?
Yeah, I do. I do. And there are certain days where it's great. Everybody needs validation, both men and women. It's great. But certain days I'm more than that. And just because I look a certain way, just because I've worked hard on my physical appearance a certain way, that doesn't mean that all the other things are not considered. Like a lot of people, when they saw Call Me Bae, when they loved Prince, or when they saw Karma Calling, and when they loved Ahan, they were like, "Oh, you looked great on screen. You did a very good job." Not realizing that to even get that part, I had to audition and like the audition process for both these shows were really intense. Uh, to even be endearing on screen, you have to know your craft really well. You have to dedicate your time to the workshops. Just having a six-pack ab or having muscles on your body doesn't mean that you're a great actor. That just was a byproduct of me trying to look like the character. And people don't realize it. People just like look at the physical aspect of the whole thing, and then they objectify me, which is okay sometimes, but sometimes they have to acknowledge the fact that I've kind of worked really hard to be the character, even physically.
Tell us, Varun, a little bit. This is the Breakfast Club, and it's a morning show, and we want to leave our audiences with a bit of a morning mantra if we can. So, for yourself, what's your process to maintaining a positive headspace?
The only way I think I stay positive is the fact that there are people out there who have it a lot worse. I always draw out examples every now and then if I feel like shit. Every now and then when I feel extremely low or something didn't work out for me probably, I always look at things where people have it a lot worse. And I'm like, I'm great. I have a great family. I have a house. I have food to eat. I am doing the things that I'm doing. Like how I told you that when I'm not on set, I'm playing professional basketball. Now, because I've worked very hard all through my life where I can do that and not worry about being back. Of course, like I would love to be back on a set ASAP as soon as the project ends. But obviously, being in this industry, we know that it takes some time. So that wait period, it bothers me, but it doesn't bother me that much because I'm still doing the things that I love doing. I'm still around the people who I love. My family is there, my friends are there. So I just think about the people who have it a lot worse. And I'm like, my life is good. Why am I worrying about things that are not in my control? I should just live it in a way where when I don't have the time, I don't complain about the fact that I need a holiday because this is my holiday time. So I'm just like happy with the fact that I get to do the things that I do.
Yeah. So, Varun, we're also speaking in the last full week of 2024. It's the time when a lot of people make, you know, manifest, think about what the future will hold. Are you thinking about a dream project that you would like 2025 to bring along?
I honestly want to be a part of something like the Hangover series. I want to do something which is properly comedy for myself. And I mean, of course, being part of a basketball project in association with the NBA would be fantastic. But that would be the obvious thing to do. I think I would love to be part of a proper comedy film.
Who would be the others on that hangover journey with you? Like, who would you cast along with you?
I would definitely be Alan, 100%. I would love to play that character. Ranbhai can be Bradley Cooper, and the other dentist guy can be my other brother, Ranvijay's younger brother, Harman. I think that would be a great cast to have.
All right, Varun Sood, the Manifesting Hangover comedy series for you. Good luck with everything that 2025 brings along. Thanks so much for joining us. All right, so that was a person of interest. With that, we've